Hi everybody, welcome back to Fall Food Friday. So today we're going to make two delicious recipes. We're going to make a cranberry crisp and a vanilla chai latte. So let's get started. So first things first, you're going to want to set your oven to 350 degrees. For your ingredients, you're going to want to get oats, brown sugar, orange juice, vanilla, and orange for orange zest. We have butter, some chopped nuts, cranberries, and we have some whipped cream to top it all off with. And for our supplies, you're going to need a baking pan, a microplane, spatula, some bowls, measuring cups, measuring spoons, and we're going to have to melt some butter, so you're going to want to have access to a stove with a pot. Okay, so let's get started. First, what I'm going to do is spray my pan with cooking spray. We're just going to put that aside and we'll use it a little bit. So now I am going to mix together my cranberries with orange juice, orange zest, our brown sugar, and we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. We're just going to give this all a good stir and make sure it's evenly distributed. It smells really good. So it's going to kind of look like this when it's all done and mixed together, and we're just going to set that aside for now and make the topping. Okay, so to make the topping, what we have here are our oats. We have a little bit of flour, some brown sugar, our chopped nuts, and our melted butter. So we're just gonna mix everything together. Gonna pour the melted butter over top. So I'm also going to add just a little pinch of salt and a sprinkle of cinnamon just to give it a little more flavor. I'm just going to make sure it's all mixed in. It smells really good. All right, so when it's done, it's going to kind of look like this, and we're going to set that aside and start combining our cranberries with our topping. Okay, so we're going to mix it all together. So let's go ahead and put our cranberries in our pan. And you might notice that the sugar is kind of settled onto the bottom, so you might just kind of want to give it a bit of a stir as you pour it in. On top of that, we're going to put our oatmeal topping. We just want to make sure it's distributed evenly. It smells really good. You can smell the orange zest and the vanilla and all the cinnamon. So this is going to be amazing. All right, this is what it looks like, and I think it's ready to go in our oven. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put it in our oven. We're going to bake it for 25 to 30 minutes. When we peek in and check on it, we just want to make sure that the cranberries are kind of bubbling and that the top is nice and golden. So let's start our timers. All right, it's been 30 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and take our cranberry crisp out of the oven. It looks perfect. Okay, so we're going to let it cool for a few minutes and firm up a little bit, and then we're going to cut into it and see how it is. Okay, so to serve, you can go ahead and spoon some onto a plate. And top with a little bit of whipped cream. Enjoy!
Now I'm going to show you how to make vanilla chai lattes. For your ingredients, you'll need some milk. You can use milk of choice, but we're going to use almond milk, whipped cream, maple syrup, vanilla, and then any kind of blend of chai spices that you like. Today we're going to use cinnamon and nutmeg and ginger and a little bit of pumpkin pie spice. And then you'll also need black tea. You can use tea bags from the store, or if you have loose leaf tea, you can use that as well. You'll also need some water set to a boil and a whisk for frothing your milk later.
So the first step is to make your chai spices. You can make your own from scratch, or you can use a tea bag that already has chai spices in it. So the first step is going to make our chai spice blend. So we're going to use pumpkin pie spice, cinnamon, and you can feel free to go a little bit extra on the cinnamon if you like cinnamon, ground ginger, and ground cloves. You can add other spices of your choice if you'd like, and then just mix them up in your bowls till they're nice and blended. So the next step is you want to combine everything into a pot with 2 cups of water in it. So you can go ahead and add your spices in there. If you want a little bit of extra cinnamon, you can add some cinnamon sticks, some cloves, and lastly, you can put your tea bags in there. If you're using tea bags, you can just drop them in. And then once everything is in your pot, give it a little whisk to stir it up. So once your spices are all mixed in with the water and you have your tea bags in the water, you're going to want to boil it on medium heat. Once it's boiled on medium heat, you can remove it for about 1 minute and let it stand. Okay, so our tea has sat for about 1 minute after boiling, and it smells great. So if yours smells great, you're probably on the right track. Before we divide it up into our coffee mugs, be sure to strain your tea and anything else you put in there, like cinnamon sticks and cloves, out. You can use a tea strainer, or here I'm just going to use a slotted spoon and take these things out and set them aside, because you don't want that in your tea. Okay, so once your tea is all ready to go and all strained, you can divide it into your mugs. This recipe made enough for 2. When you're ladling it into your mugs, make sure you leave enough room for the next step of the recipe, which is the warm foamed milk. So don't fill your mug up all the way if you want that latte milk on there. Okay, so the next step is to make our milk foam. You'll need a saucepan again with 1 cup of your choice of milk. You can put it right in the pan. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. If you like a little extra vanilla taste, feel free to put a little extra in there. And then you'll need a tablespoon of maple syrup, or a different kind of sweetener of your choice, like honey or simple syrup. And then you're going to want to heat this on medium until small bubbles start to appear, and you'll want to stir it as you go, so make sure it doesn't burn. Once your milk is nice and hot, you're going to need to work quick to froth it. And you can use a whisk, you can use a hand frother, or any other kind of tool that you want to get it nice and frothy before you pour it on top of your tea. Okay, and once your milk is nice and frothy, you can pour it on top of your tea. If you made enough for 2, you can distribute it between the 2 cups. It should smell nice and vanilla-y in here now. Your last step is if you want to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top for a little extra flavor. And then here you go. You have a nice, cozy vanilla chai latte.